Okay, so welcome back. This is going to be a very quick live on energy, and I am going to do a collective reading. And the reading is going to be about, the collective masculine. I think we need to do that. There's a lot of things going on with the masculine, and we need to find out what's going on. So I'm waiting for people to come on the live. If you can share the live, awesome. But I want to know what's going on with the masculine. What is going on with the masculine? Okay. Eight of Swords, prison of their own minds, into the star, sideways, which means it's nothing's happening. There's no healing. The desire for new beginnings. Empress is capping the reading, and Empress is about it's connected to Libra and Taurus energy. It's about the cornucopia of abundance, but there is this false idea, because the center of the reading is Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is not believing that things can change, believing that because a person's had bad luck, it will continue. Recent past, justice to the Two of Swords, not willing to see karmic infractions and loops. That's what it means. Ace of Wands, so again, passion, okay, new beginnings, creativity, we know this, but the Eight of Swords is really like a sore thumb. Nine of Cups after the Ace of Wands is wish fulfillment, power, independence. Queen of Cups is abundance and incredible amount. The potential of love is extraordinary. Remember, we're asking about the divine masculine, and there's a lot of beautiful feminine energy opening up in the heart chakra of the masculine. So the Queen of Cups is a Scorpio, Pisces, and oh my God, my mind went blank. Cancer energy. The Fool is here, a new beginning, and then Eight of Wands is fast moving. It means a lot of things: traveling, speed, and messages. Why is the Eight of Swords here? And by the way, it starts with an 8 and ends with an 8. And end is a karmic loop. Why is the Eight of Swords here? What's going on with the masculine? Ace of Wands, sexual beginnings. It is a phallic symbol. Okay, let's not play games on that. It's a phallic symbol. I feel that the masculine is over-sexualizing certain things and needs to take it down to the truth of soul connections with his partner, with his beloved. Yeah, I'm looking at this because, see, listen here, just check. Eight of Swords to the Ace of Wands, to the star sideways, to the Ace of Wands again. They're putting an ideal. This sacred masculine is putting an ideal, and I'm not going to call him sacred masculine anymore because this is a broken masculine that's not getting what's important. He's being offered everything, and he's fucking up. The Wheel of Fortune is, it's on his side. The Three of Wands is the portals have opened. It could even be third party, but the portals are open. Why is the Empress here? What's going on? Is this about him? The King of Cups to the Queen of Cups. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. I love this. Here's why. Because if the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups starts appearing in your reading again and again, there's a union about to happen. Now, bear in mind, unions can be temporary. Unions can be a day, a week, a month, a year. We don't know, right? But what we see here is a massive amount of love. And I'm saying that because I'm seeing it. A new creative beginning. Tell me more about the King of Cups, the Nine of Cups. So we've got two Nine of Cups. So reflecting, I found my peace being alone. And you are my wish fulfillment. Well, you're my wish fulfillment. Well, let's do it. Let's try again. Tell me more. Into the Ace of Swords. How do you try again? You see all these aces? And they're all phallic. So we are really talking about the sacred masculine. The Ace of Swords is about speaking the truth. Speak the truth and cut out the bullshit. Why is the star sideways? Why is there no healing here? The Page of Cups, messages of love. The Ten of Cups, you would be my everything. So let's go from the Nine of Cups. We've been separated. We've been apart from each other. And I want to build the Ten of Cups with you. I want this marriage. I want this bonded ceremony. I want this commitment. Into the Six of Swords because I want peace, and I feel no peace without you. There's no peace. Ace of Wands, what's going on here? Knight of Pentacles, it might take a long time. Ace of Pentacles is saying, well, I'm good. There are things I want to put. It's a duck in a row moment. I hate that line. I want to get my ducks in a row. I hate that line. Because why? Check it out. Seven of Cups. I'm confused. What do? I don't even know how to. I'm not sure what's important. I don't know how to make this decision. I don't know if we should wait to get together. I think we should put things in place. In some cases, some of you, I just came off the phone with a client. In some cases, you can't go back to the same bullshit. In some cases, your person, your beloved, twin, high-level soulmate, whatever, has to come back to you with more wisdom, more surrender to love than they had before. I mean, there's a reason why there was a separation. Okay, Nine of Cups, tell me more. Nine of Cups to the Three of Pentacles, third party, to the Hangman, Virgo energy, and to the Two of Cups. Well, I don't think Three of Pentacles would be mastery. I think the Three of Pentacles is third party, just like the Three of Wands is. And the third party doesn't have to be a human being. You know, it can be the monkey mind. It could be a country, a separation by country, by family, by money, whatever. It could be all kinds of things. The Queen of Cups, how does that show? The Eight of Pentacles, learning new things. Six of Pentacles, balancing, give and take. Nine of Swords, anxiety. Why is the anxiety here, please? Why is there anxiety? The Four of Wands, 1111. Yeah, this is definitely, for some of you, it's a twin flame or a very significant high-level soulmate. Tell me more about the Fool, a new beginning. Share it. It's going to happen fast. Four of Swords, healing. You know, it's going to happen. Okay, this is very important. Listen, the Four of Wands came up twice. Why is this important? Because your person doesn't have to be fully healed. That's bullshit. Your person could actually be on a journey of healing. Why am I saying that? The Fool, a new beginning, shared, fast-moving energy. Into Four of Swords, I'm still healing. To the Four of Wands, but I know how important you are to me, and I want this. And I'm finding, and I'm going to just be blunt, I'm finding coaches putting a lot of steps to take for some of these loving relationships to come into fruition. No one is fully healed. No one. What we are is more awakened into 5D. That's it. We're still always healing. Anyone that says to you, I'm fully healed, is an arrogant liar. It's a lie. And people have been known to say that. And so that it makes you think as if, well, I'm not ready, I'm not fully healed. Well, no shit, welcome to the club. None of us are. But you can still go into 5D. Why? Because you're aware of what you need to heal. See, it's not so much am I healed, it's about I know what needs healing. And as I heal this, something else will come up. So if your beloved is on a healing journey, you don't close the door. You leave the door cracked open and you go, okay, well, let's talk. Eight of Wands, why is that here? The Death, transformation, it's painful. Two of Swords is unwilling to see things for what they are. Eight of Wands, again, there's a lot of speed here. There's a lot of speed, there's a lot of downloads, there's a lot of mistakes, there's a lot of miscommunication. Tell me more, what's going on with this? The Lovers, you have a choice. Into the Page of Cups, into the Three of Cups. Is the Three of Cups celebration? Death, transformation? No. It's more about the third party. It's the third party. And death is painful. Death is on the same, I mean, there's two death cards here, which means the transformation is not fun. And the transformation is based on the Two of Swords, unwilling to see things for what they are, unwilling to see that there's danger behind you. There are unseen things that you need to clarify. If you're really on a healing journey, that means you have to see everything. You have to be willing to see everything, if that makes sense. Okay? Any questions on that? And please don't ask me a personal question about your situation. This is about the collective, okay? So there is love here. There is a willingness to be on the healing journey. And you need to give mercy. Because the thing about it is, here's the thing, and this is very important. If you were on your deathbed, and this is something I tell clients, If you were on a deathbed and you had a week to live, for real, would you want to call your beloved? Not to beg, to say, hey, you were the love of my life. I hope to see you on the other side. Have a good life. You're not calling them to tell them, hey, I want you back. You're calling them or having conversations. Hey, baby, you're the one. And you're on a healing journey. I'm glad to hear that. You know, I've been doing this, that, and the other. What are you doing? Well, I've been reading this. Okay, let's talk about it. I really want to. In other words, it's not just about sex. It's not about the romantic aspect of twin flames. It's about you guys are two souls. You're one soul split in half into two different bodies, having these 3D experiences in the human realm. And to have people tell you not to do everything you can to help your twin flame is actually disgusting. This twin was made with you millions of years ago. Millions of years ago. And you're listening to a coach who doesn't really know you, telling you, boundaries, I mean, just get over it. They need to come to you fully healed. You're not their mother. No, you're not their mother. You're their twin. You're much more important than their mother. There's a real sickness going on here that's putting impossible situations. When you were in the dark night of the soul and you could barely breathe, didn't you need someone to talk to you? To talk to you or to talk you off the ledge? That's the question I think you should ask yourself. And by the way, if it's a twin flame and it's not a karmic or it's not a soul mate that was your brother, your sister, your father, whatever, you're not going to feel compelled to be that present for them, because soul contracts are made and soul contracts dissolve in these incarnations. You've had friendships that lasted a year, 3 years, 10 years, and then it ended for no reason, or maybe there was a reason. It ended with an explosive bang. But with a twin flame, and this is something that people don't understand, with a twin flame, it will always haunt you. The minute you meet them, you never forget them. It's very hard. And you can actually have a life, have babies with other people, this, that, and the other. But it never leaves you. That alone should tell you there's something different. And at that point, you need to really get counsel from people who have actually lived and walked the walk. The entire walk for their own karmic lessons. You know what I mean? You need to learn what to do. And so if this was your last day on earth, you would actually, if your heart pulled it and you felt a very strong pull to call or reach out to say, hey, I just want to check with you. You came into my mind. And I just want to make sure you're okay. You're not begging. You're not, in fact, you can say, hey, listen, I just wanted to check in. I don't know. I really felt a strong connection to call you. I didn't mean to, intrude in any way. I just want to say, yeah, you're on my mind. I think about you. I mean, but I hope you're having a good life. I hope you met someone fantastic. I hope you're good. That's not begging. It's not even chasing. It's just checking in with your twin. Okay? They're really teaching a lot of people to cut people off in this particular generation. They're not teaching the Ubuntu philosophy, which is, you're hurting. I want to know why you're hurting. I'm hurting. Don't you want to know why I'm hurting? You hurt me, and I'll tell you why. We're not teaching people how to say, I'm sorry because I know exactly what I did to you, and I did this, that, and the other. Explaining. You don't just say, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry? Okay? We're not teaching that, and we should. That should be a standard of teaching people how to fix karmic bonds and entanglements and pain that perpetuates into the next incarnations. That's the goal, isn't it? Tell me what they need to understand about their divine masculine. The Four of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles. So the Four of Wands, 11-11, twin flame connection. The Five of Cups is about the disappointments. 3 disappointments. But behind the Five of Cups, behind the gentleman that's looking down at the cups mournfully, are two cups standing, a brand new beginning, but they're not looking because they like don't trust it. And Eight of Pentacles is saying, listen, you need to learn new rules of engagement. You need to fix yourself. You need to heal. You need to learn new ways of communication. Tell me more. Queen of Cups, Scorpio, Cancer, and whatchamacallit? Pisces energy. So I'm not saying it's for a particular sign. I'm just saying it's an energy of love. The Strength card is number 8, Leo energy, which is really about the fight between the ego and the soul. Clarifying the Eight of Pentacles, tell me more. The Six of Wands says, if you are willing to learn from the beginning, if you're willing to learn new ways of being a human being, a good fucking human being, for yourself, for those you love, for your beloved, you will win. Six of Wands. But these are not a situation where you win the war in one fell swoop. It's many, many, many battles. Tell me more. Eight of Swords, Prisoner. Will I ever heal? Eight of Cups. There's a lot of 888. Have you noticed? Eight of Pentacles. I'm learning new ways. I'm apprenticing to my soul. Eight of Swords. I'm a prisoner of my own mind. I'm the one creating all this bullshit. Eight of Cups. I want out. I want something new. Tell me more about the Eight of Cups. What's going on with that? Seven of Pentacles. I want something new. I don't want to just settle. But what? Seven of Pentacles. I don't even know what to do. What do I invest in? Six of Cups. Thinking of the past. And just wonderful memories. Tell me more. Nine of Cups. You gotta be willing to be alone. When separations happen, it's actually not a punishment, as I say quite often. It's about learning how to be alone. And being happy being alone. Like being fulfilled being alone. And trust me, if you are in a separation with a twin flame, that is not easy to do. That is not easy at all to do. But you have to master yourself. And you have to be compassionate. I did a reading on Thich Nhat Hanh's anger and his book Anger. And anger is really grief. Anger is sadness. Anger is fear, ultimately. And so that's what we're looking at. Let me look at what else they want to know. What else do you want them to know about their situation with their person, especially if they're in separation or in fights? What do they need to know? Six of Cups, thinking about each other. Ten of Cups, into the lovers. Yeah, you have a choice. Six of Cups is thinking about each other, past life connections. Ten of Cups is marriage, fulfillment. It's emotionally beautiful. It's fantastic. It's going from the Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups, which is completion. We are bonded. We are so, like, we are so blessed to be together. There's a rainbow. There's children. There's all these cups. And the lovers speaks of a choice. Tell me more. What about the Six of Cups? What do they need to know here? Justice. You need to clean up your karma. Emperor to the Nine of Wands. And you do not need to be stoic. You need to be vulnerable. You need to wear your heart on the sleeve. Like I said, if this was your last day on earth, do you really give a shit to be, to be vulnerable? You know what's interesting about people when they're on their deathbed? They always regret having been so stoic. They regret all the hours they worked, and they regret never telling the person they loved how much they loved them, because they were just always nonchalant, always hip and cool. So karmic loops into the Emperor, into the Knight of Wands. Why? Because it's fucking exhausting. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. It's exhausting. Tell me more about the wounded warrior. Eight of Cups, walk away from that shit if you really want a good life. Stop playing games. If you get hurt, if they betrayed you, if they run from you, if they're afraid of this love, at least you know that you told them what they needed to know, and they can take it into the next life, or they can eventually reroute themselves back to you. But you know, on your deathbed, I told her, I told him, you are the love of my life. I don't regret telling you that. I don't regret, because this is my last stand on earth. Ten of Cups, what's up with that? Ace of Swords, honesty, cutaway bullshit. Ten of Swords, betrayals of the past. Angel Michael is coming in with temperance to transform it. And here comes cynicism with the Four of Cups, refusing an opportunity to get the Ten of Cups because you're listening to assholes telling you and playing with your pain and telling you, yeah, don't chase. You're not chasing. I just did a reading with a young woman who's madly in love with a man, but in a relationship with another man because that other man looks good on paper. And he does. The money's there, the this and that is there, but there's no real connection. The Four of Cups. Not willing to... What do you have to lose? I mean, really, you're in a car accident. You bleeding out. I'm going to be brutal. Because that shit happens. And what you regret saying to this person, I love you, the love of my life. I'm sorry we had this fight. I'm sorry. Why in the fuck did you cheat with me? You're the love of my life. I love you. We might not ever be able to be together, but I love you. Why is this such a hard thing for people to say to each other? What are you protecting? Seriously. Because all you're protecting is the inevitability of regret, of having never said anything. The Lovers, tell me more about the Lovers, a choice. Three of Pentacles, tell me more. The Empress, tell me more. The Five of Pentacles, is there more? The Knight of Wands. Okay, the Lovers is a choice. It's known to be a choice. Three of Pentacles, third party into the Empress. You could have it all. It's Taurus, Libra energy into the Five of Pentacles, being afraid, not feeling good in your skin. Knight of Wands is the wishy-washy yo-yo energy. It's a player energy. And for men, you got to rewire the way you think a masculine has to be. You have to go back to, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 years. Meditate. Remember who you were as a masculine. Look at archetypes that we don't have records of. What do you think they were doing? Men 3,000 years ago. You think they were all brutes? 4,000, 5,000 years ago. When men honored the high priestesses, when men honored the goddesses. We have examples of it with the Venus the Willendorf and other deities of women. Yeshua honored his mother and honored his beloved Mary Magdalene. Where have we gone? Knights, Templars, troubadours would write poetry about women. Where have we gone? What's going on here? So tell me more about this energy. What is their fear? Because I see fear and love everywhere. The Magician. Tell me more. The Three of Swords. Tell me more. The Temperance. So the Magician is about manifesting what you want, but being afraid of it because you've been fucked over. Three of Swords. You've seen your parents cheat. You've seen people, your friends cheat. You've seen bullshit. You've taken on the template of cheating if you're a masculine or feminine. And Angel Michael's coming in going, you want to manifest love, but there's a cynical part of you saying it's not possible anyway. And Angel Michael's walking in saying, in Temperance, I can bring you back to him or her, and we can transform this. And the Two of Pentacles says, I'm juggling all kinds of shit. I have better things to do. I've got to pay my rent. I got to survive. I've got my car payment. What am I doing? Star healing energy coming in. Into the Knight of Cups, an offer of love. Wow. The cycle of the infrastructure is keeping both of you. In other words, when you're ready, he's not ready. When he's ready, you're not ready. Because of the material world. There you go. And then you're pushing back. And then he's pushing back when you're ready. Because of the material world. That's actually why it is. Because you could have it all, but you don't want to. You're afraid. You think you're crazy. You think, I'm just making it up. This shit will never happen. It's not possible. Anything else that they should know? Chariot. Fast-moving energy. Ace of Pentacles. A new beginning. Okay, so Chariot is saying, very fast, this could all change to your benefit. A new beginning in the material world. Ace of Pentacles. But you're holding on to bullshit. Four of Pentacles. You're holding on to your fears. Can they let go of these fears? Nine of Wands. Wounded warrior. Judgment, something returning. High Priestess, go into your psychic energy. The Magician is here with the High Priestess, which means it's a power couple. You've got the Emperor and the Empress. You guys are a power couple, but you're fucking up. So the more afraid you are, the more you're actually manifesting what you fear the most. And if you understood how powerful you are, you would be so careful with your negative thoughts. You would be so careful that you would start working together to manifest your union. Why do you fight Why do we fight ourselves so much even when we know it's a waste of energy? Ego, fear of being hurt again. We're not asking. You don't. Listen. There's a difference between please don't leave me, please God, I can't live without you. There's that, and there, dude, you're the love of my life. I'm crazy about you. I'm crazy about you. I hope you're okay. I hope you found another woman that makes you really happy. I'll see you on the flip side of the moon. We're good. That's a different type of approach. Flip side of the moon. We're good. That's a different type of approach. Whether they come to you saying, I'm not with anybody, fuck, I haven't fucked in three years since we broke up. Or they say, I'm with someone, but I'm not happy with them. And it's not the time for you to feel, oh no, I'm guilty, I'm breaking up a marriage, or no, I'm sorry. Sorry guys if that pisses you off and triggers you. I'm not pushing infidelity, but I'm also not going to push and promote people who stay together, because you could actually be holding on to a wife or husband who could be a lot happier with someone else. You're actually plugging up, you're cock blocking. They need to be able to go. Twin flames, it's very actually typical that twin flames walk into a marriage with a high level soulmate or a karmic because the marriage is shit. And they're holding on with like spit and hope. And the twin flame walks in. It happens so often, it's insane. Because even if you don't end up with your twin, you're not supposed to be with this person anyway. Because of their status, their money, or their loyalty, they have you on a pedestal. But you can't really, the sex is boring. The sex is pedestrian. The conversations are okay. There's nothing to write home about. Does that make sense? So it's interesting, isn't it? Thank you, Gemma. No calls. No, he calls me the love of his life. Well, there you go. And why not believe that? And it is. And why not live in that bliss bubble? Why not? I mean, you know. In fact, when twins come into union, they actually heal the planet in a way that we can't quantify. Clearly, we can't. But I'll tell you one thing. When we have droves of suicides, we sure in the fuck feel it. With all of the deaths happening all over the world, we sure in the fuck feel it on an energetic level. Imagine if people were in union all over the world, what the world would be like. The whole system would collapse. I mean, look, when you look at Taco Man with his chick, right? It looks like a fucking arranged marriage. Let's be honest, okay? There's no love there. They don't even have a fucking dog. When was the last time you saw a president with no dog in the White House? I've never seen that. Have you? There's no love here. There's no love. And women will choose these kinds of relationship because it makes sense on paper. But they won't even hold your hand. These women won't even hold your hand. They don't even want to hold your hand. And you know what I'm talking about. You have to choose, and you have to have the courage to choose with your heart. And the problem with the masculine in this particular incarnation, well, for the hundreds of years we've had, is that men really are valued by how much money they have. They are valued. Their success is not based on levitating, healing people with their hands, or their voices, or their ability to play high frequency instrument, or do you understand? A successful man is considered successful by how many digits he has in his bank account. And he can be the biggest fucking asshole. Would you marry Jeff Bezos? I know I wouldn't. You can put a pew-pew to my head to do that. There's no way I could fuck that guy. Not for $1 million. You see the difference between choosing and being in integrity with our soul's path? But we are teaching a lot of young women and men that their value is how many zeros is in that bank account. And we need to actually change that. Because a real man isn't 100 million. I mean, if you were drowning and you were the love of Zuckerberg's life, well, you would be the love of his life until you were drowning, and then he'd be like, somebody get a buoy. Like if the waters are kind of rough. Do you understand? He's got all these he doesn't want to let go of that money. That money's more important than your life. A real man loves you and will put his life on the fucking line to save your life. A weak man will have 100, 2, 3, 5, 6 billion dollars and not give. At the end of the day, he'd rather live another 10 years than save your life. Why is it that we don't talk about that more often? We have to redefine what it is to be a masculine, and the only ones that can do it with the help of maybe some divine feminines are divine masculines, to rewrite the template of worth. And we need to realize that the template of OnlyFans and all of that shit going on is a very ancient template, and women can either live that template or not. I know that many of us are high priestesses and high priests, and we will not live that template. We do not consent to these templates anymore. So let's see what's going on with the divine feminine and or the toxic feminine. Let's see what's going on with her. What's going on with the okay. So the King of Cups is here, to the Two of Cups sideways, into the page, into the Knight of Pentacles. And what that means is the King of Cups. And again, remember, we're asking about the divine feminine. And I'm going to say, I mean, it could be whatever gender, but I'm going to say that she is loved. The Two of Cups has been neutralized. The soul made connection. The Knight of Pentacles says it's going to be a while. The Page of Swords is crowning the King of Cups, which means spying energy. And that's what I'm feeling. Sometimes it means learning, spying, but in this case, spying. In the recent past, there was an offer that was refused with the Four of Cups into devil energy. The devil energy is the foundation of this reading, which is unfortunate because it's about self-sabotage. It's about not standing in full power to say, I claim you. You don't have to claim me, but I claim you. Or I release you. Or whatever the truth is that you have to announce to the world, meaning to the universe, to God, to the Akashic record keepers, to the Galactic Council, to your elders, to your beloved soul. It's whatever you feel in your heart, and it is not something you analyze mathematically. It's something you feel in your body, in your bones, in your blood, in your soul. It's downloads, it's dreams, it's visions, it's visitations. It's something only you can navigate. And you cannot allow yourself to be influenced by content creators who feed you bullshit because they have a Patreon page with 100,000 people, or they have a YouTube channel with a 500,000 people, and you're listening to advice that's cookie cutter. It's dangerous to do that. And you don't do that. Or rather, you should not do that. Two of Wands is you're holding the world in your hand, and as a divine feminine, you're holding the world in your hand, but you don't know what to do. What do you think that means? It means if you just open the door, they'll say, my God, I never thought you'd open the door ever again for me. And people change. And we've seen, look at the political arena and see what has happened in 6 months, and then tell me that people don't change. People evolve. They either go towards the light or towards the dark. People change, and people are changing radically at a speed that's like incredible to watch, for good or not. Ten of Pentacles is legacy and long-term connection. The Hermit is going within. The Magician is here, but the Six of Swords, the Magician's in the 9th position. It's about what you hope to manifest, and the Six of Swords is peace, moving into calmer waters where the trials and tribulations are gone. King of Cups, what does she need to understand? The Star, healing energy. 9 of Wands, I know it's exhausting. 4 of Pentacles, stop holding to the past. Stop holding to the template of your parents' marriage. Stop holding to templates of your friends' marriages or bonds or connections or lovers. You will have friends that have never had great sex, much less they've never had a man or woman love the shit out of them. And you're taking advice from them on relationships? Are you serious? Think about it. Tell me more about the Page of Swords. Why? Death, transformation, it's painful. The Hierophant is coming in to the Three of Cups. I'm seeing third party, and again, it's not a person. It might be, but I feel like it's more a situation. The Death card being a transformation of maybe finding out something that you didn't want to find out, which is not a bad thing. You need to know the entire fucking landscape. You need to know the truth. The Hierophant, Taurus energy, is connected to traditional values. It's connected to a bond, a connection, I don't want to say marriage. I don't want to say that word too often, but a bonding, a union. It also connects to high spiritual evolution. All right. Tell me more about the Two of Cups sideways. Why is it sideways? Why is this neutralized? The High Priestess is here. High Priestess to the Magician. Again, we're getting the same theme. The Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, the Priest and the Priestess are together to manifest whatever the hell they want into the Ten of Cups. Okay, tell me more. Into the Page of Wands. Communicate what you want. Knight of Pentacles is going to take a long time. Knight, like knight in shining armor. Knight of Pentacles is going to take a long time. Seven of Pentacles, yeah, hesitation. Eight of Pentacles, learning new rules of engagement to the Page of Cups. And communicate what you need, both of you, with love, with faith, with not with hope, but with a knowing. Do I have to keep reminding you that you were made millions of years ago? Millions and millions of years ago? You have to remember this. Because when you know this, it makes you do things with much more certainty and less fear. More decisiveness. Seven of Pentacles, I don't know what to do. To the Eight of Pentacles, just learn new rules of engagement. Page of Cups, with love. Two of Wands, the world in your hand. Queen of Cups is here. Loving energy. Have you noticed that we're getting a lot of Queen of Cups? Do you remember I said if I keep seeing the King and Queen of Cups, if you see it in your own reading, it means a union is about to come? I'm not kidding. Keeps coming up, coming up, coming up. Her back is to the King of Cups. Yes, this is important because the Two of Wands is showing me she has the world in her hands. She could do anything. She could manifest. Together they can manifest anything. But she's looking in the wrong direction. Four of Swords, she's healing. The Wheel of Fortune is on her side. Are they destined to break away from this, ignoring? Chariot, travel, fast-moving energy. The Hangman, seeing things from a different angle. The Three of Pentacles. Is the Three of Pentacles, in this case, are they about to master something within each other? The King of Swords. No, it's third party. The third party is your monkey mind. The Chariot is here. Again, it's about travel. Seven of Swords. Denial. Lying to yourselves. Trying to actually downgrade the importance of this connection. Saying, I can do better. I'm going to move on. It's too hard here. It's too hard to do this with her, with him. It's too hard. Denial. Self-delusion. Lying to yourself. Ten of Pentacles. Why is that here, please? The Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning. The Queen of Pentacles, a grounded energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Okay, got it. And the Page of Pentacles. Communicate. Communicate brass tacks about there are two levels of communication, three actually. About the material world. Oh, you're moving in with me. I want to go to Bali. You live in Australia or you live in New York. How are we going to do this? Well, let's plan it. Loving communication. I miss you, baby. Passionate communication. You are so sexy. In other words, keeping this fire alive as you architect a new life in the material world. The Hermit, going within. Seven of Swords. Here we go again with the denial. Six of Cups. And yet thinking of each other. Magician. You can't make this shit up. You guys will deny and deny and deny and still get the fucking memories. Still want to be together. And Magician, why is it here again? Why are you coming up with the Magician once again? The King of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. You can't make this shit up. If you could just get out of your own way and stop lying to yourselves about this connection. The King and Queen of Pentacles, the King and Queen of Cups, what the fuck? The high priestess, the magician. You guys are stable. You guys have the stable cards of divine union. And yet, the Seven of Swords keeps coming up. You guys are lying. You're not being honest. Six of Swords, wanting peace. The Strength card, number 8, is the fight between the ego and the soul. Yeah, I'm not begging. I'm not going to chase her, him. You're not chasing. You need to also educate your twin. Out of twin pairs, one is always more solidly in 5D, 5D, 4D, 5D, 4D, and the other one's always within 3D, 4D consciousness. Swear to God, one is always below the other. And for it to come into union, you guys have to be on the same fucking page. How the fuck are they going to learn? I was making this analogy last time that it's like saying to a 3-year-old kid, kid, learn how to read on your own. I'm not teaching you shit. Oh, you don't know how to read? You're 7 years old? Well, I mean, figure it out. We got books in the house. Just pick one and do something with it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's as absurd as saying to your twin who's suffering, who doesn't understand this connection, you're not giving them a clue. The first thing they need to understand is reincarnation. The second thing they need to understand is soulmate connection. How does that work? Well, your mom was could have been your soulmate. Oh yeah, I'm really close to my mom. Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, we're like best friends now. She could have been a soulmate. You have to. Do you understand? You gotta fucking create a foundational understanding for your twin to have a fucking spiritual compass. You don't just rip out. I'm your twin flame. They need to understand how we were made. Meaning souls, not you and him, or you and her. It's not about teaching them about you, and it's about teaching them how to read spiritual, lost, ancient knowledge of their very making. And then you're more likely to come into union. But if they're ensconced in 3D and you're like a fairy airy jumping into 4, 5D, they have no idea where the fuck you're coming from. Let's be honest. I mean, and so when you guys are grounded, when you guys are in your hearts, when your guys are in your magic, High Priestess and the Magician, shit falls together. But Six of Swords, I just want peace. 8 of Strength card, the fight between the ego and the soul. The Hangman is, well, maybe I should just step down and take my time and figure it out. Into the Lovers, making a choice. Are they going to make a choice? 2 of Wands. Here we go again with the 2 of Wands. The World in your hand with the stagnation. The 10 of Cups is what you want. The Hierophant is a bonded, traditional, highly spiritual, emotionally fulfilling love. But you got to be willing to actually, doing the work isn't just about doing the work for yourself. It's also about being kind to another soul. Probably the most important soul of all the souls you've ever met. And you're out, and coaches, this is why I'm irritated like you wouldn't believe. And this is why I started the Twin Flame Ascension on Patreon, a group. We're meeting on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern to coach, because this is insane. Do you realize I'm not his mother? I know that. But he doesn't know shit about anything in the spiritual life that you take for granted. He doesn't know shit about reincarnation. He doesn't know about the Council of Nicaea. He doesn't know about why reincarnation is so easily believed and how much data we have, how many stories we have. There are fucking libraries, books filled with reincarnation stories and magazines. Where does it come from? And you have to unlock your twin from cynicism, because cynicism is fear. It's fear to look foolish. It's fear to be hurt. And so people swagger in conversation with cynicism like they're smart. They're not smart. They're afraid. And so, yes, if you're in a twin flame connection and you're talking, it is your duty, and I'm saying this straight up, it is your duty to try to give the right information to your twin. And yeah, they might run, but now at least they're armed with information that they would have never had without you being in their life. That's the truth, because they don't have anyone in their circle that's spiritual. Am I correct? Okay? For the most part, I'm pretty sure I'm correct. And if it's a masculine, every blue moon you'll have a divine masculine with divine masculine friends. But let's be honest, it's laughable what I just said. How many men really have wonderful, high frequency, divine masculines as friends? They usually have to dumb themselves down to have masculine friends. Usually. You'll find that most divine masculines have female friends who are high priestess. Swear to God. Okay? Because at some point, it's going to be down to sports and pussy and anything else that's stupid. That's the reality. This is why men are going through loneliness, because they can't talk to each other like real fucking honest, heart on the sleeve brothers. Men are failing men. We don't have that problem. We have at least 5 or 6 friends. Many of us have like literally 5 or 6 friends that we can talk to about spiritual concerns, and that's our entire conversation for 2 hours. Very rarely do men have that. But they have it with women who are like their sisters or elder sisters or aunties. So yeah, when a coach tells you, yeah, you know, that's not, you're not his mother, ask the coach, what do you mean? I'm having dreams about my twin. Oh, it's just, you're just processing. You know, eventually when he's ready, he'll come to you. He'll come to you. Don't do anything. Close the door. You know what question I would ask? How long have you been in union with your twin? And how did you know it was your twin? And what numbers do you see? And what kind of downloads? And who do you speak to and who guides you? Because people are getting away with saying things and they have not been interviewed before they've been hired to coach. And they're saying, it's like telling your 9-year-old, and by the way, they were teaching that. They were teaching that you don't hug your babies. Let them scream. Let them cry it out. No co-sleeping. Don't do this and that. Don't hug them. Swear to God, this was a thing. Look it up. Don't hug them. You'll spoil them if you give them too much love. No, you'll spoil them if you give them too many things. You can never spoil a child with love. So be careful with this shit. Because some of this shit, in my opinion, is psyop shit. It really is. I think they really, because as long as you people are depressed as fuck in separation, they can control your ascension journey, because it's not going to be very successful. It's going to be very painful, and you might not want to, and you might go into addiction. You might decide to call it a day. I'm not joking, and it's been happening. So the love is there. You're supposed to be talking. You're supposed to be gentle and patient with each other, and you're supposed to call him or her out. You're afraid. Why are you afraid to win? Why are you afraid? Do you want to win in love? Do you want to? Kind of like it's. I love how everyone loves that scene in Notebook, the movie, where he's screaming at her in the rain. Everyone loves that scene. No one's done that scene, because that's not begging. Because he's not saying choose me. He's saying choose your fucking life. Don't marry that fucking asshole. That's not who you are. And you know it, and I don't care if you come to me. Don't come to me. That's our duty as twins. Did you get me? Does that make sense? And coaches are telling you not to fucking do that. To stand in the rain and to say, do you want to win in life, or do you want to fucking bury yourself alive for 30, 40 years and always regret every move you made? You're not asking them for yourself. Because if you're truly a twin, you're asking them to be every twin I've talked to, including myself, if our twins went to good women, I'm just going to speak from a woman's point of view, meaning a high-level soulmate female, who we knew would be good for our twin, many of us would say, my job is done. He's happy. I'm out. Hurts, but I'll get over it. Do you know when the women get fucking unhinged? When these men go with these bimbos and we know they're going to be destroyed by them, and that's when we lose our shit. It's different. Twin flame feminine hearts are expansive, where they will love the man's children like their own. Well, the unconditional love is, baby, as long as you're happy, I'm good. It'll hurt, but maybe we're not supposed to be together, and that's okay. Or you'll be together, whatever. But my point is, it is not what's being sold. I don't know what they're selling, but they're selling ghosting, ignoring, and walking away. And the only way you do that is when you realize to your twin, after you've explained 100 million times the same fucking thing, and your twin is still looping in the same excuses and bullshit self-delusions. That's when you have to say to your twin, I've done everything, baby. I love you. You are the love of my life, but I can't be with you. This is when a woman is known to leave the love of her life. When a man won't fucking do what he needs to do to build a life with her. That means leaving a toxic marriage. It means leaving and choosing a life and saying, I don't care if it's going to be costly. In the divorce courts, I don't give a shit. I choose my twin. And when a man can't do that, a woman leaves. Her face completely wet with tears. Her heart absolutely shattered, but realizing that she's not going to be the other woman for the rest of her life. She's not. That's when you leave. And if you meet a high-level soulmate and you're happy, you don't lie about it. You tell your person, you say, look, but now it's done. And if he ever calls, if he ever calls on his deathbed, I want to tell you, I'm going to say goodbye to him. If he calls me while he's dying, I will go and say goodbye. I will sage him. I will do the rituals. And I need you to know that's going to happen. There's a level of integrity and honesty that has to happen. And if you're with a good man and a high-level soulmate who's got his shit together, will say, I mean, what are you going to fuck your twin while they're on their deathbed? In other words, what I'm trying to say, I'm giving you all these weird scenarios because a good man will know and say, of course, baby, that's good. But then I will never, ever betray you. I am now loyal to you, and we are walking this path together. I mean, if you walk with that kind of light in you, you will attract the right people. And if your twin's not ready to walk beside you, it's not like you didn't try. And it is quite painful. And it is incredibly painful to watch a twin with a toxic karmic person who you know is harming them in draining their energy. In other words, they're draining each other's energy. They're not supposed to be together. And people do it all the time. But even that you have to let go. You can't save them. In fact, some twins, and this is the truth, is that you might actually be removed from your twin because your twin has to go through the dark night of the soul, and you can't be there to help them. You can't be there. Thank you, Budsworth. You know what I mean? So when that happens, when you have your twin, and you know your twin's going through the dark night of the soul, you want to remotely heal them. Yeah, that's right. Remotely heal them. Remotely. You are the only one in this entire universe that has that kind of power to heal your twin in ways I can't. No one can do it for you like you can. You understand? Especially if you know and you feel it, and you will feel it. When they're going through, it will rock you. It will hit you sideways, and you'll know, oh my God, they're going through it. I can feel it. They're going through it. And they're supposed to. Sometimes when my twin went through it, I felt it. It lasted over a year. And it was necessary. And here and there we would talk. And he was in shock that this was happening. because it had never happened before. And that was what was needed to break open his heart in a full surrender, so that we went into our last union together. I feel like that is really important. I know that many of you have gone through the dark night of the soul, but if you know for a fact that your twins dabble with a little depression, that's not the dark night of the soul. Depression is depression. Dark night of the soul will take, it has taken people out. They don't survive themselves. So in the cards, I saw great joy and togetherness. The King and Queen of Cups, the King and Queen of Pentacles, the Emperor and the Empress, the High Priestess, the Magician, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, again and again. But your monkey minds, man, your monkey minds are just wrecking it. You're wrecking it. You're wrecking it. Ego, fear, listening to assholes, Five of Swords, Five of Wands, like, you know, conflict of other people who are telling you, even in your family, who love you. And to be fair, your twin has to be in a healed position, actively seeking more understanding and clarity for them to be able to be released back into your arms as your beloved. You're not taking your, and this is, it's interesting because I've noticed that. I know that whenever my twin and I broke up, whenever we got back together, he was better, I was better, we were better. We knew more, we understood more, we had refined our understanding of our relationship, and we valued it more. And then some egoic pattern template would explode in our face. Do you understand? And this is, unfortunately, the price of purging old templates. He had templates with his family. I had templates with mine, society, and so forth. Does that make sense? So I have experienced telepathy with him, and I had a vision, and he looked content, so I've left him alone. Okay, fantastic. Okay. And if you desire to reconnect with him, right? If there's a hit that you're like, let me check in, just, you know, I want to check in, and you see something different, then you know, do what you got to do. But if he's content, he could be with a high level soulmate, and he's doing well, and he's happy, and yeah, you leave it alone. I had a vision when I first, 27 years separation, and I had a hit in my meditation. I've talked about it so many times, it's ridiculous. Well, anyway, I was in a meditation, and I saw him walking through the sand, wearing Bedouin clothes. He's Irish, which is another one. But he was wearing Bedouin clothes, blue lights, in the sand, out of nowhere. Didn't think about him from probably years, or at least in my memory. But I certainly hadn't thought about him for a while. And he came into my meditation unannounced, uninvited, uncalled for, and I thought he had died. And that's when I realized, you know, I went to somebody who was a really excellent psychic, because I wanted to make sure, because, you know, because it looked like he was coming, and I was like, no, that's impossible. Where the hell is he anyway? And that was the message. So what happens is, the telepathy that is very well known in the twin flame, the real twin flame community, the real twin ray community, you will get a message. It's time to connect. It's time to reach out. You will get it. You will also get oracle dreams, visions, downloads that will tell you it's time to let go. Really, for real. I mean, there's no problem here. You get direct. This is why you really try to, you know, I'm not saying I'm the cat's meow and I know everything, but I will say this. I can tell you that from my own experience personally, and all the clients I've worked with all over the world, I kind of gotten some kind of, you know, I don't know, some basic wisdom and some basic understanding of some of the basic patterns of what happens. And what I've been seeing that's been countering this beautiful, fluid energy of how twins communicate across timelines, across countries, energetically speaking, has been, covered over by these coaches saying, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. Do you understand when there's don't, it's a red flag? It should be do this if you feel like X, Y, and Z. Do this if you feel like X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense? And the corruptness that's going on, I don't know. I know that when I talk to my friends who are also in the spiritual world, right? Meaning the conversation I just had, I have conversation, the books I read to you guys, those are the conversations I have with all my friends. We're not talking about fucking the bathroom being decorated blue and all that shit. We don't, okay? I'm not kidding. So we talk about these things constantly. And one of the things that is an irritant for all of us, and we all agree, is how the twin flame community has been corrupted and hijacked. Okay? And that's been and you know I've been speaking of this for a few months now. It's a concern. Because it's not giving you the way to come into union. And no one can guarantee your union. That's another thing. No one. There's divine timing. There's being responsible for one's actions. I mean, if your twin is a sexual addict, or if you are, or if you're addicted to shit, and I mean, and you're not being responsible with what you need to do in this journey, and you refuse to heal, and healing means, let me first see what I'm doing. And then, how is this affecting me? Well, I don't feel too good about myself. How is it affecting the people I love? Well, it's hurting people. Well, then let me fucking, repair this. Let me repair it in myself. Let me repair it with other people. Healing is being radically honest with yourself. And in the readings that I just did today, the readings were good. But the conflict was denial, lying to yourself about the truth of this connection, denying it, not being open of the love. But I saw love everywhere. And I saw union. And it's there if you want it. That's why you're the only coach I listen to. The rest have messages I felt wrong in my soul. No, I hear you. Hi, Carol. Isn't the DM supposed to be drawn back to us once they actually awaken and go through the... How are they supposed to wake up if they're fucking in 3D? Seriously, look. You missed this analogy. It's like asking a 3-year-old kid to teach himself how to read. And he's never seen letters before. He's never seen letters put together. He's never played with blocks with letters. And so now suddenly I'm expecting my 3-year-old to teach himself how to read, how to count, and how to write his own name. How? If he's coming from a Mormon background, a Catholic background, a Jewish background, a Muslim background, an atheist background, how the fuck is he supposed to know who the fuck you are to him? All he'll know is I'm having dreams about you. I can't get you out of my mind. It's the best sex we've ever had. I feel like I'm home with you. I feel so good with you. But I don't understand. This is probably an obsession. It's limerence. It's got to be. Oh, twin flames, that's a lie. There's no such... Do you understand? How the hell is he supposed to understand what this is? The irony is that my twin, before we even knew we were twins, sent me many books. But one of the books he sent me that he had notes, I still have the book, with notes all over it, was by Brian Weiss, a psychiatrist who also used hypnotherapy. And the book was called Only Love is Real, about soulmates incarnating again. He said, we are soulmates. He knew we were high-level soulmates, minimum. He hadn't seen me in 27 years. So I was lucky he was 4D. Meaning he knew the basic parameters of incarnation, karma, soul bonding, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he had that. And he was incredibly brilliant. I mean, he told me a lot about a lot of things. But he called it first. The average man, okay, let's be honest, is not that advanced. Okay? He's not. Because when he is, he knows. And at that point, he's a divine masculine. And if you're corrupted, no offense, and there are women that are corrupted, there's a lot of them. And if you're corrupted as a feminine, and you're full of shit, you're a runner, you don't feel worthy, you're blah, 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 you want the money, not the man, things like that, then a divine masculine will say, I release you. You're not ready for me. And I've had divine masculines who were twins say that. You're not ready for me. You're still a little girl. Here's some books. Do your work. I'll know when you're ready. I'll call you. See what I'm saying? But there's got to be knowledge. I mean, Jesus, Folk have said twin flame is self, bringing self into one, and no such thing as soul in two people. Well, let me put it this way. This is funny to me. No offense, Carol, and that's a very good question. I'm going to read it out loud one more time. Folk have said twin flame is self, bringing self into one, and no such thing as soul in two people. Well, Plato talked about the souls split into half. Why do I believe that? Because we have concurrent incarnations. We are known to have concurrent incarnations. We are known to be well, not us, but because we're not that advanced, but some souls are known to be walk-ins. And those are terms you need to learn on yourself, because I've talked about it before, but I'm only telling all of you, like, look it up. You got ChatGPT, whatever. Frankly, just look it up on Google. I'm not a fan of ChatGPT for some reasons, okay? A lot of reasons. So look it up. Walk-in. What is a walk-in? And I need to do like sectored lives with just to talk about walk-ins in more depth. I'm realizing I need to do like lessons, okay? So you guys can learn this on some level of details. But if we can have concurrent incarnation, there's my point. If our soul is a multi-dimensional, being, sentient being, and if we can actually split ourselves into the various bodies in different parts of the world, and we do, okay, and it's probably a lot of woohoo for some people, but it is a real thing, then us splitting to have concurrent incarnations, sometimes in a masculine body, in a feminine body, in same gender body, to accelerate our evolution, to eventually, yes, it's very much like Buddha talks about the ocean of consciousness, right? In terms of becoming one with the consciousness of God. Eventually, we will be able to surrender our innate desire, curiosity to not want to incarnate ever again. At what point there's a merger, not just of you and your twin, but there's a merger of many, many souls. In fact, there are many souls that have already merged into the great ocean of consciousness of God. They've decided, I just want to be with God. I don't want to incarnate. I don't want to make love to you. I don't want to have an ice cream cone. I don't want to be a plasmic creature on a 7D planet. Do you understand? I'm done now. I'm so content being in this great entity that I want to now surrender to the great light. But many of us, let's be honest, we love this, not this planet, not the way it's set up with these assholes, the infrastructure. But I mean, we love living. We love the wind. We love the sea spray. We love that juicy peach. We love to make love. And we hope, I'm not kidding, some of the concerns for higher dimensions is, do I get to have that kind of sex with my twin again in other places? And the answer is yes, but it's different. So I've answered the question and added a lot of information, but this concept that souls can't split into multiple dimensions, and from the perspective of a 3D logic that accepts linear timeline as we do, is absurd. And so I don't know, hopefully I explained it to some level that makes sense. Of course you do. I love the beauty of this earth. So did that kind of answer your question? Because honestly, it's a great question, because it is a concern. Like, I don't want to know that I was believing all that. It's kind of like, okay, let me put it this way. The fear that many people who are stepping into spirituality or have been in spirituality, which is a normal fear, is to say, Christians are fanatics. Well, not all Christians, but these Christians over there in that corner of the room, they're fucking crazy. And maybe I'm fucking crazy, thinking all this crazy shit about the soul's nature to do what I'm saying it does, right? That's a normal concern. But if you go into your meditations, you start experiencing the visitations, and you're not under any influence, whether you're not taking any drugs. You're not taking any medicine, any drugs, whatever, and you're still having these occurrences. And you start realizing that, wow, and then you share these experiences with other spiritualists who also confirm, oh yeah, in my meditation, yeah, that happens too. Oh, when your third eye, what color is it when it's, when you're working on it? Oh, violet, sometimes it's turquoise, sometimes it's gold. Do you understand? We start realizing, wait, we're having the same type of information being shared to us. But when you see dogmatic religions played out, if you're smart, if you're somewhat curious, you're going to go, is that me? Am I doing the same thing? But I'm like, la, 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 I'm so much better than these fanatics. And that's a real concern until you realize, no, the light is the light is the light. And I'm walking in the light. And that's not putting down anyone else, because it's just saying that you would second guess. And this is what people do. This is why when people get visions, within 20, they shut it down. Because they're like, no, it's impossible. It's too easy. Like, one of the things I remember doing was a mass collective hypnotherapy on past life, right? I think it lasted like a half hour. I think. I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. But one of the women had a vision of, she had short hair, very pale skin. In that vision, she had long, dark hair, olive skin, dressed in ancient oatmeal brown tunics, running in the sand barefoot. And she shut it down because it came immediately. As soon as she asked her soul, show me a past life I need to understand, it came, and she shut it down because she was terrified. She was terrified. And why was she terrified? Well, because it made them, I don't understand. I asked my soul, and my soul showed, yeah, that's right. So I asked her, well, didn't you want to know why she was running? Didn't you want, I was aghast in a way. I was like, why would anybody do, because I don't understand that kind of, I really don't understand that kind of consciousness. Not because I'm judging it, but because I'm like, oh my God, you're so lucky. You got to ask, and immediately your soul started giving you a vision. And before you got to understand who is this woman, what timeline, what country, why is she running? Is she happy? Is she sad? Is she afraid? She shut it down. And then I started realizing that people do that all the time. The main fear people have is I must be going crazy. And some people, by the way, are going crazy using New Age lingo. Some people are going through psychosis. You're seeing them. But I'm hoping that you understand the difference between psychotic breakdowns, right? And weird ass, visions that are not real. You know that. And when somebody shares with you a real vision, why do you think I'm starting to tell my friends, you got to post some of the shit people need to know this is real? Because as long as we keep it under our, in our little box of divine secrets we only share. It's like having Polaroids of, look, I saw this, I did this, and you only share with your 3 best friends and no one else. See, we need to start getting comfortable with sharing some heavy shit, so that people will understand the difference between psychosis and real metaphysical occurrences and gifts and downloads. And you know what I mean? Because we are in the excavations of our own evolution to 5D. And once 5D occurs for many of us, it's like, we don't have to explain. I know I sound crazy, but we don't have to do that anymore. We'll be around people who think and act like us, who are fully 100% grounded in reality, but in multiple dimensional realities, not just 3D, if that makes sense. So that's how I remain in my faith and had since a child visions, knowing you said, yeah, I understand. But I don't know if you work with people, but if you work with people, then that's not everybody. All right, so I hope that helped, because honestly, we need to normalize a lot of things. But then, Carol, with your faith, right? And this is my question, and I have to ask you, why didn't you know that a soul could have multiple incarnations, like concurrent incarnations? Did you never hear of that? I'm just wondering. I'm just curious. I'm curious to know, did you know that we could have concurrent incarnations? Did you know that we are actually, most of us are having concurrent realities going on at once? You can answer that or not. It's up to you. But to me, that is something that we have to, well, if you're not comfortable with that idea, you need to study it as to why. Whenever I post spiritual stuff, I get crickets. Lol, no, like, because people in general are like clueless. Well, it's not that they're clueless, it's that they're in amnesia. I do know, just wanted your opinion. I've known since a child. Okay, gotcha. But so why ask the question? Was it for the public? Because I mean, I would prefer for you to tell me. We're not here to ask questions we really know. Well, forget my opinion. I'm more interested in finding out, what do you know about concurrent incarnations? What do you know about the splitting of souls? Why would Plato write about it? Why would we have stories going down the line that talk about, when you start rereading books, you go, my God, this is twin flame. My God, that's twin flame. My God, this is twin flame. Because your basic love affair is also shown in books. And it's a pedestrian love affair. It's pedestrian. There's nothing magical. There's nothing, there's no healing. It's just a basic story of two people who connected. I don't know why I'm thinking of this book. It's such an old book. But the perfect book that had absolutely no twin flames in it. None. But, you know, she had lovers, was Scruples. Billy. Jackie Collins wrote books about women. And there were no twin flames in any of her books. Why? Well, because these women never experienced that kind of love. They had lovers, but they didn't have the divine masculine love interest. They didn't have a twin flame experience. You know what I mean? And you can read these books, especially if you look at some of the older books. But when you, but you know, what fascinates me is that you'll read Wuthering Heights and you know it's a twin flame. You know. Right? And when you look at, they're telling me to say Scarlett O'Hara, which I almost feel like that's politically incorrect because it really annoys me. But yeah, Red Butler and Scarlett O'Hara, she's in love with her cousin. She's in love with like nobody. And when she finally realized it's too late, it's over. But I wouldn't even call it, I would say more like a high-level soulmate. But when you read like, when you see the representation of Pride and Prejudice, that you could call that a twin flame, depending on how it's filmed, you know, the way you read it, the way you. When you look at Sense and Sensibilities, I forgot the sister's name. Those two sisters are I mean, they're soulmates. It's obvious. They love each other on a level that's transcendental. But what's interesting is the writers in the 70s, and I'm bringing up these weird books like Harold Robbins, Jackie Collins, Judith Krantz, all these people, Danielle Steele. There's no twin flames. The only person that's been able to write books that are somewhat is The Notebook, Nicholas Sparks, and there was another story he wrote. I forgot the actual title, but anyway, whatever. And he must have had that experience. You can't write about what you don't know. You can't make up that kind of passion and connection unless you've lived it to some capacity. You know what I mean? But it always makes me think this offer had to be a twin flame. Movies are like that to me too. Exactly. But the only one that has me completely puzzled beyond, honestly, is Bronte's Wuthering Heights. We know that, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she did have a twin flame, and she never, you know, it was under wraps. It was never exposed. She never kept a journal about it. Who knows? Because when you read Wuthering Heights, you're like, what the fuck? That's some stuff. And it's a wild passion. So that puzzles me. Jane Austen, she definitely understood soul connection. There's no doubt. But she was also hamstrung by, you know, the society she lived in. I mean, it was kind of a trap. Future reading is nonsense. Let me see. Okay. I was just going to mention that movie, Heathcliff. Absolutely no. For me, you know, when I first read that, I think I was like 16 I think I was 16. And Pat Benatar had just come out with Wuthering Heights. If you read if you listen to her song, it's pretty fucking powerful. And I love that. I mean, I think certain books I'd read like 3 or 4 times because I didn't want it to end. The other book that was definitely about twin flames was Somewhere in Time, the book. Not so much the movie, the book. And Somewhere in Time was definitely that. I forgot the character's name, but I read the book when it came out. Richard Matheson wrote the book, and it's a novella. So again, he must have experienced something insane, unhinged like that. But you have to live it to... And also you have, maybe with going back to Bronte, maybe it was past lives. Maybe she was channeling a past life with her twin on the other side of the veils. Because as you know, we don't always incarnate with our twins. You know, at least in 3D. What about Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon? Oh, fuck no, please. Are you kidding me? No, that's not twin flames. No. It could be a soulmate connection, but definitely not a twin flame. You know who was a twin flame? David Bowie and Iman. That's twin. And it's not even flame. I'd say more like twin ray, or, you know, twin ray. He was he was very much aware. No offense, I don't mean to put you, you know, because I've got an Australian, but he was very aware of the Aboriginal racism and all that shit in Australia. He owned land there. And, in Let's Dance, the video, he's got an Aboriginal girl, like, literally on her hands and knees washing the sidewalk. I don't know if you guys... That was his message of saying, do better, you know? But he was quiet about what he was doing in terms of... Once he got out of his sexual addiction, heroin addiction, all the shit he was doing, and this was known, and he got into his Thin White Duke era... And then he met Iman, and that was it. He was ready. They came fully ready. She went through her shitty marriages. He went through his shitty marriage and addictions and all that, and they got together, and they were inseparable from day one. So I would say that's a twin ray, or maybe you know, on a kindergarten, preschool level, obviously. And if you hear her talk about David Bowie, I've mentioned her many times. The other twin flame that's very much a twin flame would be Liz Taylor and Richard Burton. That's a massive twin flame. But Ozzy Osbourne, no. And that's my opinion. That doesn't mean I'm... Yeah, David Bowie. Yeah, David Bowie and Iman. David who? Motorbike went past in here. David Bowie and Iman. Anyway, so the reading was great, in my opinion. If you missed the reading, please check it out on YouTube. Follow me on YouTube, Sacred Intimacy Tarot. We're starting our Twin Flame coaching. It's $9.99 per month. We meet every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, and we get to talk about each other's stories, and I'll be coaching and giving best practices and so forth, and we can go from there. So if you want to join, let me know. Well, you don't have to let me know. Just go on my Patreon. The link is on my web, my link tree. And then any other questions before I go? Hi, Red Mama. It's good to see you. Did you have any question, Red Mama? Because it's good to see you. So any questions at all? Or comments? Okay. All right, beautiful. All right, sending you much love on your journey. Again... Follow me here, follow me on YouTube, and follow me on Patreon. I have a free membership, but if you want the coaching or support, let me know. Sending you much love. Namaste.